One of the most profound thinkers in psychology emphasized that self-love is not just about feeling good. It's about integrating every part of yourself and stepping into your full potential. He believed that real transformation happens when you stop looking outside for validation and start embracing who you truly are. He is Carl Jung. Loving yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. It's the foundation for a life of authenticity, inner peace, and meaningful relationships. But what really happens when you make this decision? How does choosing self-love impact your life on a deeper psychological level? Let's explore 6 powerful changes you'll experience when you commit to loving yourself first. 1. You integrate your shadow, embracing all that you are. Jung introduced the concept of the shadow, the hidden unconscious parts of ourselves that we tend to reject, suppress, or deny. These might be qualities we dislike, past mistakes we regret, or fears we refuse to face. However, ignoring the shadow doesn't make it disappear. It only gives it more power over us, leading to self-sabotage and inner conflict. Have you ever wondered why certain situations trigger you deeply? Why do certain people irritate you beyond reason? Often it's because they reflect parts of your own shadow, traits or emotions you've buried. When you love yourself, you stop running from these hidden aspects. Instead of pretending they don't exist, you face them with compassion. You accept that you are both light and dark, strong and vulnerable, wise and flawed. This process of integration leads to profound healing. It dissolves inner conflicts, helping you become whole rather than fragmented. 2. You stop seeking external validation. Your worth comes from within. From childhood, society conditions us to seek approval, from parents, teachers, friends, and even strangers on social media. But when your self-worth depends on external validation, you're constantly at the mercy of others' opinions. One compliment can make you feel on top of the world, but one criticism can shatter your confidence. Does this sound familiar? Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming your authentic self. This means breaking free from the expectations placed on you and defining your own worth. Loving yourself means you no longer rely on likes, compliments, or external markers of success to feel good about yourself. You stop molding yourself into what others want and start embracing who you naturally are. You realize that your value isn't conditional. It doesn't depend on achievements, relationships, or appearances. It simply is. Take a moment to reflect. Am I living for approval, or am I living for myself? What would change if I truly believed that I am enough just as I am? 3. You attract healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Jung once said, "The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But not all reactions are positive. Some relationships bring healing, while others bring destruction. Have you ever noticed that when you don't love yourself, you often attract people who reinforce your self-doubt? When you don't value yourself, you settle for relationships that reflect that lack of self-worth. You might tolerate toxic behavior, overextend yourself to please others, or fear being alone so much that you cling to the wrong people. But when you start loving yourself, everything shifts. You no longer tolerate disrespect or emotional neglect. You set boundaries, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. You stop chasing people who don't value you and start attracting those who uplift and support you. Your relationships become healthier because they are built on mutual respect rather than insecurity. Before we continue, if you find the content interesting, please subscribe to the Mature Soul channel so you don't miss the next videos on personal and spiritual development. You will find content that inspires you to challenge and change the way you look at life. And now let's go back. 4. You gain deeper self-understanding and emotional clarity. Many people go through life without truly knowing themselves. They move from one job, relationship, or goal to the next without ever asking, "Who am I really? What do I genuinely want?" Jung emphasized the importance of self-inquiry. He believed that the more we explore our unconscious mind, the more clarity we gain about our emotions, desires, and purpose. Loving yourself means being willing to look within, not just at what's pleasant, but at what's difficult, confusing, or painful. When you love yourself, You become more aware of your emotional triggers and patterns. You stop reacting impulsively and start responding with wisdom. You understand why you feel the way you do instead of being controlled by emotions you don't comprehend. Consider this. When was the last time I truly sat with myself and asked, what do I need? What do I feel? Am I running from my emotions or am I listening to them? 5. You tap into your inner power and intuition. Jung believed that deep within every person lies an inner wisdom, a guiding force that knows what's best for us, even when our conscious mind is confused. This is often referred to as the self, the highest aspect of our psyche. Have you ever had a gut feeling about something? A knowing that didn't come from logic but from deep within? That's your inner power speaking. Unfortunately, most people ignore this voice because they've been taught to prioritize external opinions over their own intuition. Loving yourself means learning to trust yourself. You stop second-guessing every decision and start tuning into your inner guidance. You realize that you don't need others to tell you what's right for you. You already know. The more you listen to yourself, the stronger and more confident you become. 6. You align with your true purpose and authentic life path. Jung famously said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But how many people actually do that? How many live lives dictated by fear, societal pressure, or others' expectations rather than their own inner calling? When you love yourself, you stop betraying your own desires just to fit in. You stop living on autopilot and start making conscious choices that align with your true self. You realize that you are not here to live a life that pleases others. You are here to fulfill your own unique journey. This might mean changing careers, pursuing a passion you've ignored, or redefining what success looks like for you. It might mean saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that energize you. Whatever it is, loving yourself gives you the courage to step into it fully. So ask yourself, am I living my life or am I living someone else's? If I remove fear from the equation, what would I truly want to do? Loving yourself is not an overnight process. It's a lifelong journey of self-acceptance, growth, and deep inner work. But the rewards are undeniable. When you make self-love your foundation, you become whole. You stop seeking outside yourself for happiness and realize that everything you need is already within. So I'll leave you with this. What's one small action you can take today to love yourself a little more? Because the moment you choose yourself, your entire life begins to change. Thank you, and see you next time.